So a while before they were released, GameSir sent me their T4 Cyclone and Cyclone Pro, and I knew from the millisecond I saw the spec sheet this was going to be a shit show. We have a $50 Pro controller and a $40 one, this one, that's missing a few key features, so what's stopping you from buying the one with more features? Spending a tiny bit less to get a tiny bit less is really not that appealing when you can just spend a tiny bit more and get a tiny bit more. So what's stopping you from buying the other controller? Why make a budget version of a budget Pro controller? So we're here to find out today, or not, I don't care. Why they did it really doesn't matter, to be honest. This is going to be a companion piece to my T4 Cyclone Pro review, which will be out after this one. GameSir specifically requested that both these controllers have separate reviews, which was a terrible idea. I feel like being a bit of a thunder cunt today, although I will always still be brutally honest. No. Wait.
And before we move forward with this review, I'd quickly like to announce our sponsor for today's video, PCBWay. PCBWay is a PCB assembly service that also does stuff like CNC machining and 3D printing, all of which have instant quotes available on their website linked in the description below. So if you're looking to do your own advanced DIY projects, be sure to check them out. I'd like to give a huge thanks to PCBWay for sponsoring this video.
Looky what we have here. A Switch controller, it's wireless, 2 rear buttons, Hall effect thumbsticks, and it's extremely cheap. This sounds amazing. In a vacuum, almost all tech sounds amazing. The problem is that the Pro is 20% more expensive. It comes with clicky ABXY buttons, a low latency wireless 2.4 GHz dongle that does not come with the base model, 2 more vibration motors, and it's a couple of shades darker. All this for a $10 difference. So why would you buy that? You get to save $10, it's $10 fucking dollars, dude. This controller has, I think it actually says it in the box. I don't remember where it is, but it says it has tri-mode connectivity as in Bluetooth 2.4 gigahertz, both for wireless, and then the USB-C wired. But this doesn't come with the 2.4 gigahertz dongle that the T4 Cyclone Pro does. Do you wanna know how much the dongle is? $10 fucking dollars. So at the end of the day, this controller with the dongle is the same price as the T4 Cyclone Pro and still has less features. By the way, this isn't actually really a wireless controller since the Bluetooth is unacceptably slow. The 2.4 gigahertz on both controllers is pretty good, but because it doesn't come with a 2.4 gigahertz dongle, I can really only recommend using it wired if you're going to use the base Cyclone at all, and even then it comes with a rubber USB-C cable. The wired response time isn't that bad, it's not a bad wired controller, but GameSir makes better wired controllers as well. And they also share the same case silver anti-stick drift Hall effect thumbsticks. These are the JH16 model that I recently discovered are rated for 5 million cycles. They also have the same 2 rear button layout that can be mapped to any button you want, as well as a plastic grip that encases almost the entirety of the controller. Since they share a lot of the same core features, I'm not going to make the same review twice, as I will be going more in depth with Cyclone Pro, as I think that's actually a worthwhile device. And like I stated earlier, the only remaining differences here are the lack of 2 rumble motors and the triggers that the Pro version has, as well as the green kale switches used in the ABXY buttons rated for 3 million clicks. Funnily enough though, those ABXY buttons on the Pro version are less stable and have the same travel distance as these membrane buttons, so I realistically don't think they matter all that much. That's an issue I pointed out with the T4 Khalid, which GameSir still hasn't really looked into. They keep making the same fucking controller every goddamn 3 months. So much so that, what else? You got the M button again, that little shit. The M button allows you, I don't give a shit. I'll put them on screen. The M button does all these things. That has nothing to do with the software. The software is okay, although it's not really a software as much as it's an app for your iPhone or Android. I would like to point out, unlike the T4 Khalid, which is also a Switch controller, that controller software is only available on PC, so that's a PC controller. This is an actual Switch controller. Spoiler alert, none of them have actual Switch apps for their software. It's always mobile apps. The app GameSir provides for the Cyclone controllers is basically identical to the PC software that the GameSir G7, G7 SE, and T4 Khalid have, but it is missing a few key features. For instance, the remapping process can only be done to the ABXY buttons as well as the rear buttons instead of every single input on the controller. Stick and trigger dead zones are available, but again, they're very limited compared to the PC counterparts. There's also some vibration settings for the 2 rumble motors, and there's a couple other things, but honestly, that's it, man. I'm not trying to cop out of this review either. This is just a humongous waste of everyone's time. GameSir's made this controller for the past 2 years over and over and over again for different consoles with slightly different features, and I'm getting a little tired of it. So I'll leave you guys with a couple of final notes. The D-pad has no travel distance whatsoever, Very membrane though, not clicky. The hair trigger dead zones that you can switch on in the software are garbage, and you need to do them manually if you want them to work properly, which is an issue with all GameSir controllers. The grip encases the whole device, but isn't rubber and feels like garbage. It's the same texture on the back of the Xbox Series X and Xbox One controllers. And finally, they missed a huge opportunity to put a headphone jack on what is actually a Switch controller, because none of them have that for some reason. I swear to God, Nintendo's pastime is just figuring out how to make Switch products worse. And that's all, folks. This is bullshit. I find it annoying when companies release two devices next to each other at very similar MSRPs, and the cheaper device basically has no use because it's missing features, key features that people really want, and those features are only available if you spend an extra 10, 15, however much money. I would have been more up for this if they had released a Cyclone base model that was the Cyclone Pro. 2 rear buttons, clicky ABXY buttons, Hall effect sticks, wireless 2.4 GHz connection, and then they should have made an $80 to $100 version with more rear buttons, trigger stops, maybe clicky ABXY buttons and a D-pad like the GameSir G7, a faster wireless connection, a couple of other features, some pro features, I don't know, something. And then price the controller further away from the $50 MSRP of the T4 Cyclone Pro. The base has no use, has no purpose, and should get the hell off of my desk. And again, and this is really where I'll end this video, I'm really getting sick and tired of doing this whole thing over and over again, where it's the same exact controller, just the GameSir G7 again. It's the G7 all over again. It's just for Switch. They did this with the T4K. They did this with the G7 SE. Now we have 2 Cyclone controllers. If they do it again, it'll be like the 5th or 6th time we've done this. I don't give a shit anymore. Let's move on. If GameSir's seeing this, I'm about ready for something that's not the exact same fucking layout that we've had for the past 2 years.
It's like you just took the same fucking shit and just stacked it on top of the same fucking shit.
In my eyes, I more positively see the Cyclone Pro as, while it still isn't great, it's good for the money, and when that review's done, that'll be up in the top right-hand corner. I'm just gonna end this like I've ended the last 4 GameSir reviews. We'll see what they do with their future devices, and I'll keep reviewing them, but I swear to God, if they make another one of these, it's going to be bad. Before I go, I would like to quickly give a quick personal note about the channel, because we're now in 2024, and I got very big plans. I've started posting on my other social medias again. So if you'd like to check out my Instagram, my Discord, which I've been on a lot more, you can check those out in the description. But yeah, I'm getting impatient. And while this is a little more deeper for this video, more so is for my subscribers, I'm tired of waiting for life to come to me. So you guys are gonna see more of me on the channel, as this is my job and I do want to live more of my life. With that, I'll probably be starting another channel sometime this year in the spring, I believe. In the process of doing that though, you guys are gonna see me a lot more. Next up, we have a budget comparison for, I think, about 10 Xbox Pro controllers, all under $100. After that, we have, I think, 3 or 4 different Hall effect videos pertaining to both individual controllers and overall Hall effect sticks, so be sure to stick around. We have a lot of content coming. I really wasted the last 2 years, about sick and tired of doing it, so here we are. I hope I can see you guys there. If you're still watching, here's the funniest clip I found on Instagram today, because my outro still copyright claimed by UMG illegally. Have fun.
I can't drink tonight. I drank last night. I can't drink tonight. I got work in the morning. Excuses. If you let excuses run your life, then you'll never really live your best life.